Hey groupies, welcome back to Form Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer. You can call me PD. And today we are checking out Make You Happy by NiziU. NiziU is the brand new girl group from JYP. I'm not sure if they're all Japanese or if some of them are Japanese, some of them are Korean or Chinese, but I know that they are being marketed as JYP's premier Japanese girl group. So there is a good chance that most, if not all of them, are Japanese. Now, I'm very curious as to what this is going to be like because this is not a debut song. This is actually a pre-debut song. It's a pre-release, I believe even an EP. It might be an album. So they're kind of going the ways of, I believe Stray Kids did the same thing too. They put out a pre-debut mixtape and music video, several of them before they actually debuted. Now, before we watch this video, I just want to preface, when you watch this reaction, the music for the music video is not going to be in this video. Japanese copyright is incredibly strict on YouTube, and in large part, it's actually kind of illegal to watch Japanese-related content on YouTube. That's not an issue with JYP per se, but if they ever do sign to a Japanese label, I know that they're working with Sony Music on this, and Sony Music is also very copyright. They're very heavy with the strikes, so I'm not sure if this is just Sony Music or Sony Music Japan. Regardless, if they also ever do partner with a Japanese company, the video will be taken down and strike the channel. So just for safety's sake, we are not going to be including the audio. So when I start the reaction, you guys can just pull up the video as well and start the audio so that it doesn't, I'm not like watching a quiet video, so you guys can actually genuinely follow along. Yeah, so I hope you understand. Usually we upload Japanese reactions to our Patreon with the audio, just on a different platform, not on YouTube. But this time around, I wanted to do a culture study video for it because this isn't a special reaction for an existing K-pop group. This is a group that is straight up debuting soon. So a lot of this, I think, would be very interesting cultural dives. So we're going to be checking this out. And of course, this video is brought to you by our Patreon. Like I mentioned, any Japanese releases from other groups, we do react to that only on our Patreon, again, just for copyright's sake. So head on, if you want to check those videos out, head on over to our Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you get early access to reaction videos like this, listening parties, and exclusive reactions to Japanese content. However, if you just, support us a little bit more for our summer tier patrons and up, you get live stage variety show, reality show, drama reactions. So you can check that out on our Patreon. We greatly appreciate your support, but if you can't or don't want to, that's completely fine. Let's check out this video. This is Make You Happy by NiziU, and this is your form of therapy. All right, so you guys can sync up with me. When I press play, you guys can do the same. I'll just count down. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Okay, so based on the names, they all seem Japanese. Whoa, the hopping is... Oh, she's Japanese. This girl actually looks Korean. Right now, the structure and the rhythm of this very much reminds me of Twice. Not just Twice music, but Twice's Japanese releases. I've heard most all of Twice's Japanese releases, and this is definitely along those lines. Was this shot in Korea? It's JYP, the man himself. This girl looks mixed, too. Aw, she's cute. I noticed that they haven't shown any, actual choreography or, them dancing together. There's, a little dancing here and there, but not, K-pop choreography, what you would expect. More like free roaming dancing. Okay, I have a feeling this is like kind of what they did with Twice as More and More. But I have a feeling now we're going to get the dance. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm referring to Twice as More and More, like at the end of their music video, they also entered through a portal changing clothes. Okay, two different rappers. Oh, a third rapper. It's just fast too. Oh, a four. Oh, they have like no limits to how many rappers they have. What? What? We haven't heard the signature JYP whisper in eons. I mean, the man has not used. The man went out and established that as like his signature thing, and then for just like for I don't know what reason, just stopped doing it. Even if he did write and produce the song, because the JYP signature whisper is usually songs that he worked on or he directly produced. So that might indicate that perhaps JYP produced this song. Well, I wouldn't be surprised, or at least they're using the same songwriters, because "Make You Happy" very much sounds like Twice's Japanese stuff. I've heard a handful of their Japanese releases, and it very much sounds like it. And this doesn't sound like a title track song. It's definitely a pre-debut single slash B-side type of a song. I don't think it's necessarily. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying creating a title track is a certain amount of commercial mainstream sound and catchiness. And while this is quote unquote catchy, it's not, as the kids say, an earworm. There is supposed to be a rather simplicity to the chorus that makes it easy to remember and makes it incredibly catchy. I feel like this song is not that. I feel like this song was meant to more introduce the girls to you and get you more accommodated, and also just only tease what's to come. Because I think the whole point of this was to, well, it's just a marketing strategy. I mean, I don't even have to think it. That's the truth. This is just a marketing strategy. Basically, their whole thing is to tease NiziU, and just show you, because I think the biggest indicator is the fact that like they never come together as a group until the very end. They never show you the group's choreo. They never show you the group dancing, truly dancing, because several of the members do dance here and there throughout the video. But besides the girl with like that beret, nobody like really outright dances. It's more like a lot of freestyling. And so you don't really get a sense of their choreo and their teamwork right up until the end. So this is all about teasing you. None of this is about like trying to chart number one, or like sell a bunch of albums. This is all about pointing towards their debut and building hype. This is very cute. Like I said, it sounds very similar to Twice's sound, specifically their Japanese sound, not their Korean sound. Twice has I feel like they have two very different sounds, their Korean sound and their Japanese sound. And I'm not saying they're copying Twice, or I'm not insulting Twice by saying that. I'm saying they're from JYP, and they have the same songwriters, and they have the same man in charge, JYP himself, who is sort of overseeing things. And so he understands and knows what formula from Twice's Japanese releases works, and then he put it into NiziU. so that like that instead of Twice releasing a Japanese release every now and then, he's now got a whole group dedicated to that, which then this whole group can start making money directly in Japan. So all of this is really more so marketing, and I don't think they're ripping or biting off of Twice in any way. I think they're just going off the JYP formula. I think, even the singing, the way they sing is very similar to Twice. And this is actually something I learned recently, even just a few months ago, and it makes a lot of sense. But every company has a different way of training their singers and giving them specific vocal techniques. And so I was watching Twice on this one show, and they talked about how all JYP vocalists are trained to sing like a certain way. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, because a lot of the vocal powers between, I feel like, even Stray Kids and then Twice, and then I think ITZY doesn't really count because they are a vastly different style of music. But NiziU even, and then like how a lot of SM singers and a lot of SM groups, their vocalists and singers have very similar skill and techniques, and I listen to like BTS and TXT. I think they have very similar vocal techniques as well, and I realized, some of the things that makes a group. I thought what made the group unique is not necessarily the group, but it's actually the company's. Their teachers. And it's not until the company debuts more groups you realize, oh, it's not that the singer sings this way, it's that the company taught the singer to sing this way. So that's why I think NiziU sounds very similar to Twice in that way. I don't really know anything about them. I didn't watch their show. I didn't watch their reality show, but I'm not sure when they're going to debut, but when they do, I will definitely check it out, and we'll see if they live up to the hype. Right now, what we're seeing, I think they have very good vocals. Dancing wise, I can't say that they're amazing, but they're good because we didn't get to see enough. I don't think there's really anything for me to say about the video, because the video as well, there's not a lot of a creativity put into it, not a lot of budget. That's not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying, hey, it's a pre-release video, it's a pre-debut video. They didn't really it's not a title track. They're not going to spend a ton of money, hundreds and thousands of dollars for a video that they're not, again, trying to make chart or sell a ton of ad space for it. This is really just only the beginning of the cake, and we'll see where they wind up. And I hope you guys will tune in when we do. But I would say the song, I am not a fan of the song. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. I'm just like, I wouldn't listen to this in my usual time. And I'm sure if you guys know me, I love just like very, very girly, feminine, sugary bubblegum pop music. But this is not my jam. And perhaps it's the language barrier. Perhaps I'm not used to more of the J-pop style. Like, I'm not a fan of like Twice's all of Twice's Japanese releases either. I don't know what it quite is, but there's song structures never quite get me. So song-wise, but I am looking forward to the group's future release and their debut. So yeah. But guys, let me know, what did you think of NiziU's little tease? I would call this a teaser, just a long teaser rather than anything else, because again, you only get really a glimpse at their skill and what they're capable of. And I feel like the debut will be a better showcase of that. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And guys, we greatly appreciate you guys watching these videos, but if you would like to support us for just a little bit more, head on over to our Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/formatherapy, for as little as $2 a month, you get early access to videos like this, and for just a little bit more, we have live stage reactions, variety show reactions, dramas, reality shows, etc. But remember, supporting us monetarily is completely optional. If you don't want to or you can't, we understand. Why don't you go ahead and just hit like down below right here. When you hit like down below, I know every YouTuber says it, but it's because it actually helps out. It helps out with the YouTube search algorithm. When you leave a comment and interact with our videos, that helps us out too. So that's a free way of helping us out if you can't join us on Patreon. If you're new, go ahead and hit subscribe, be notified when we upload a new video, and go ahead and check out all our other videos over here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.